All right, what's up, everybody, man? So we're right back with episode 3 of Down to 216. You got me here, Pip, and you got
Man,
Will here.
what's going on
And
with y'all, man? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing, man?
yeah, so we about to get right into it, man. If y'all like us, though, make sure y'all leave us a subscribe at the end of the video. But the first topic that we got is Stefanski. So it's been a lot of rumors about who gonna call the plays. People speculated that the new offensive coordinator was going to call the plays, but it comes down that Kevin Stefanski is going to retain play calling duties. So how do we feel about that?
You already know how I feel about it. I think Coach Kev, I don't really see a reason to take the play calling duties away from him unless it's like you're unsatisfied with the style of offense that he's running, unless you're unsatisfied with the results that he's getting out of the offense. Uh, if we look at the offense as a whole, it's kind of hard to look at the offense. We got to look at what was the Bengals game. That was the only game we really had. We really didn't even have that because Jack Conklin went down in that game. So it's really hard to really even know. I mean, and football injuries gonna happen. Definitely understanding in that, but in general, it's kind of hard to know. You know, he lost his best offensive player week 2. He lost his third or the starting quarterback of the team week what 8, 9. Really, he lost Deshaun week 3 because he got hurt in the Titans game. And then he had to play with Joe Flacco, DTR, and who was the other guy? I forgot who we signed for the 5th week. But anyways,
PJ Walker?
PJ Walker. But
Yeah.
anyways, like I said, it's kind of hard to see the results because like what expectations? The expectation that I would have had for this roster, it would be something like what they did in the Tennessee Titans game. If you look at this offense as a whole, excuse me, Deshaun Watson and Kev have called game-winning fourth quarters. They've called multiple game-winning drives, and they don't won in close games in scoring faction. You can look at every single game that the Browns won. The Bengals game, Deshaun Watson scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter. The Titans game, the Cardinals game, the Baltimore Ravens game, and the list continues to goes on as far as what they've done. But I think it's kind of hard to know and to look at like, hey, the offense looked horrible last year, but you played with PJ Walker. You didn't have Nick Chubb. You only got Amari Cooper and David Njoku. How good was the offense supposed to look? But now I think this year it'd be kind of more. I wish this contract was due like next year, so then it would be more. We have more evidence on if he should like be the play caller, if he should get re-signed, because we honestly really don't know. We don't know. He's supposed to be an offensive guru, but we really don't know. He hasn't been able to show anything outside of that year with Baker. That first year with Baker, it's been a lot of controversy going on at the quarterback position. So if he gets good quarterback play, what offense, how does that look? It needs to be at least a top 10 offense. And I think that him calling plays will be going in that direction. Because the worst thing you have want is for Dorsey to get out there and start calling plays. The offense looks like trash, and now Kev got to call plays again, and now it's nothing we can do to ever vouch for Dorsey being a play caller because he just messed up, and now everybody feel like it's Kev's thing to do. So I think if the offense starts out slow, this would be a way to like almost like give Kevin like a sub firing before firing him. Like let's take play calling duties away and let Dorsey call the plays. Now if that goes wrong, then we gonna go on to the next year and fire him. But I think that'd be like the steps. Have play calling removed from him if the offense doesn't look good, rather than having Dorsey go out there. And then if he loses his play calling duties, Kev isn't giving that back. So and he pretty much gonna get fired if he loses his play calling duties because why is you here? You the offensive coordinator and can't call plays. So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. I think the pregame and putting those plays on the sheet to pick from is way more important than picking the actual play. So, but yeah, what you think?
I feel like it's something to be concerned about. Not like hugely concerned, but well, let's be honest, it's something to be concerned about, bro. Like the reason why I say that is because I feel like Kevin Stefanski, yeah, last year, he did deal with iffy quarterback play. I guess the year before that, you could say he had Jacoby Brissett, but really, I mean, it's how I feel like Kevin Stefanski him calling the plays. He doesn't really scheme his playmakers into the game like he should. I feel like last year, Elijah Moore could have been schemed into the offense way better, despite however the quarterback play was. So I didn't feel like we really utilized Elijah Moore the way we could have. I feel like, I mean, the only person that really benefited on offense was Amari Cooper and Njoku. And Njoku was kind of like a default thing because he loved these tight ends and shit. Um, I'm looking back, like even when he first came, the first 2 years, the first year we made the playoffs, the second year, Baker was hurt and all that stuff. But it's been times Kevin Stefanski, he don't make adjustments. He coached himself out games, like literally coached himself out games. And the offense is too conservative. Like, over his tenure here, we've had talent. Dating all the way back to Odell and Jarvis when they were at the end of their prime. All the way to now, he's had a lot of talent, a lot of options. So I feel like the offense has always underperformed. I feel like the offense, he never really maximized the potential on the offense. Not saying that he didn't make things happen with the offense, but he didn't really maximize the potential with the offense. And that's something that I always question with Kevin Stefanski. So this year, if everybody's healthy, even taking it to Deshaun Watson, I think we touched on this last video, man. Deshaun Watson, I don't think he really. I think the reason why Deshaun Watson was struggling here in Cleveland in the beginning was because Kevin Stefanski doesn't know how to necessarily or didn't know how to necessarily game plan and play to Deshaun Watson's strengths. And I feel like when he started playing and coaching to Deshaun Watson's strengths, Deshaun Watson was looking more like himself. So, um, Deshaun Watson's not this type of quarterback that you got to do all this play action foolishness with. You got to really just let Deshaun Watson work. And Deshaun Watson even came out and said he was begging Kevin Stefanski to open up the playbook and spread shit out so he can really work. So I think that maybe they are coming to an agreement because it seems like despite Kevin Stefanski still calling the plays, it seemed like there's still a huge speculation that the offense is going to be different this year. But the thing is, we hear that every single year. We hear that every year. Oh, the offense is gonna be different. It's gonna be a different look, a new look. And then you see the first few snaps and it be looking cool, it be looking a little different. But the rest of the game and the rest of the season be the same old, man. So I'm right now, I am concerned. And I do, like I said from last video, I feel like Kevin Stefanski's under a lot of pressure. I think he's been getting saved. But yeah, play calling, I don't know, man. Like if he don't do good for the first few games, you need to give it up to the other dude, man.
I don't know. I feel like I think the Deshaun thing is kind of true. I think he definitely kind of held him back. It's almost like he just wanted Deshaun to just run the offense and just expect stuff to just work because he was a better quarterback. Like, but
Yeah.
he's not a plug and play type of guy. So I can agree with you on that as far as that. It's definitely been games where he's coached himself out of games, but it's definitely been games where he done coached us back in the game. So if we take a look at just the game against the Seahawks, we was down 17-0 in the second quarter with PJ Walker, Pierre Strong, and who else we had? And injured Amari Cooper on the road in Seattle. He came back and tied that game up. Calling three straight, what was it, three straight end rounds or not end rounds? It was three straight screen passes.
But what did
He got
the
80
defense have in
yards,
that
80
though?
yards off of screen passes. Like,
Didn't we
come
lose that
on.
game though?
Hey, man, come on, though.
Didn't we
Why did we
lose
lose
that
the
game
game,
though,
Pip?
man? I
Pip,
think
why
we
did we
lost
lose
that
the game,
game.
Pip? You know why we lost that game, bro.
Or we
We
lose the
gave up a
game.
touchdown to Geno Smith with 10 seconds left. That's why we lost that game.
I mean the defense. Well, that game the defense was playing straight though. Honestly, the defense played good. It's just that they gave up that
And
game winner,
then, like,
man.
I don't know, bro. Like, then we got to start putting more attention on these players, though. Like, Elijah Moore, like, hey, let's have a conversation. Is he the guy we thought he was? Like, is Elijah Moore? We tried to get on the ball off the end of rounds. He can't do that. He's not an end around gadget guy, so throw that out the way. He's a little body receiver, slot. We could have did ways to try to get him the ball more, but at the end of the day, it's on himself as well. He got to create separation. David Njoku, he found a way to get David Njoku involved. I want to say, I don't know if it was him or if it was Deshaun, but it took up until that Baltimore Ravens game. after that Baltimore Ravens, after the second Baltimore game, Njoku averaged like at least 80 yards for the rest of the season. So I don't know who figured that out to just throw him the ball in space, and but that was simple. Amari Cooper does get schemed up. Uh, David Njoku gets schemed up. You can try to discredit it with the tight end. Um,
I mean, it's a
but
default thing though. You know, it's a default thing. He love the tight ends.
man, I feel like I feel like we kind of on the same page with it still at the same time though. You can make a solid argument that it's been times. I feel like you can definitively say every season besides the year with Baker that what we was thinking in training camp versus what happened after the season has been a disappointment offensively. You can say that ideally for every season. But when you look into the context and you really look at it, I just don't think that fall on the blame of the head coach, man. He coaching handicap.
The only
Like
time we really coached
he coaching
handicap was
literally
last
with an one
year.
arm. Like, come
But
on.
but as the coach, you signed Case Keenum, who you got history with. You got history with Case Keenum. Case Keenum that made the playoffs at the time. Case Keenum was a respected veteran backup quarterback. So if you got
Yeah.
this dude Baker Mayfield out here, his shoulder falling off the bone and shit, why was you making him go out there and still play when he clearly can't play? And a lot of shit with Baker wasn't even injury related. Some of the shit was just him just being shitty. So Kevin Stefanski got to make that adjustment to bench Baker and bring up his backup. But Kevin Stefanski's a stubborn dude. He don't want to give the play calling. He didn't want to bench Baker. And then it's even times it's K York shit. They got K York on a practice squad. It took you know how hard it took for them to let go of K York. Like that's the type of shit Kevin Stefanski be on. He be on this weird dumb shit. So like I feel like he was only
Man, you
handicapped
acting
this year
like he
by
a general
default, bruh.
manager, like he's just gonna cut K York, bro. That's Andrew Berry's job and responsibility, bro.
But if he
Come
highlight
on,
Andrew
man.
Berry like yeah this dude ain't gonna get it done, then Andrew Berry probably let him go. Andrew Berry see what's going on.
We not even talking about his ability to bring on good assistant coaches. We got the assistant coach of the year coming from his tree. We got Bubba Ventron, vastly improved our special teams. So we're gonna see what Ken Dorsey could do. Ever since he's replaced the two people we have, who we have, I forgot who our old special teams guy was. He was so trash.
Yeah, he
He
was
probably
trash.
he was garbage. I forgot his name. He the dude that coached when we won against the Steelers. Forgot that nigga name. But yeah, man, I don't know. I really don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. But the thing is, though, Pip, you do know, like we gonna never probably know if he a good coach because if Deshaun just play good this season, we not gonna know because like it's almost like he's never gonna ever be able to get credited because if when we come out, it's gonna be almost like the Deshaun Watson show. It's gonna look like Deshaun doing everything. We got Nick Chubb. He got all these weapons. Why wouldn't you win 11 games with this roster? You should win 11 games with this roster. So he's never gonna get credit for it because I mean, look how high the bar is for the team. So I don't know. I feel like it's definitely two sides to it though. It's always ways to look at it.
Well, we got the
But
defense though, man. So if the offense don't show up this year, I mean, yeah, if Deshaun Watson playing good, yeah, that's good on Deshaun, but defense gonna get valid credit for that because we done seen Deshaun struggle for all these seasons, and he still got to call the plays and scheme shit up. So, he gonna get credit by default. Like it's gonna be valid credit. You feel me? So, not this BS Coach of the Year shit he got
honestly
last year.
though, if honestly though, to be real with you, if what you feel like is the truth, bro, I think what's gonna end up happening is we gonna have a lot of close good games that we gonna lose. If we lose in close good games, we play a lot of way better quarterbacks this year. So Deshaun could still be good and we can still lose. So the evidence is gonna be there regardless. It's just gonna be ever if people want to look at it or not. So if he's able to still coach in those key head situations, we gotta think about, hey, Kevin Stefanski, who on the other side of Kevin Stefanski? Do we got to worry about that head coach? Kyle Shanahan was on the other side. He beat him. Mike Tomlin was on the other side. He beat him. John Harbaugh on the other side. He beat him. He beats good head coaches with one arm behind his back.
But it
And then
wasn't him
we sit and
though. Them
complain. We sit
games
and
was
complain about
defense.
a bad play here and there. Like, come on, man. Cut
Jim
this
Schwartz
man a
won them
break.
games. Jim Schwartz won them games, Will.
Man.
Come on, man. Jim Schwartz won that 49ers game. He helped us come back in that Ravens game. Like Jim Schwartz really had a key. Jim Schwartz, I keep telling you, he the real coach of the year, bro. He just wasn't qualified to win it because he's a defensive coordinator, but he was the real coach of the year for real, bro.
Man. But no, speaking of that, they did announce that Nick Chubb is officially out for week 1 of the season. Are you alarmed or concerned that they announced it already, or do you think it's kind of like precautionary to kind of get the hype down? Yeah.
Yeah, they said he was expected to miss the week. They said that he began working on change direction stuff in addition to full speed training and sprinting. And the team is being very cautious not to pressure him back by putting a timetable on his potential return. So, I mean, it's good to know now that he not gonna play week 1 more than likely. It just gives us time to actually prepare. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've been preparing for real, but it gives us time to prepare and just see what things can be like without Nick Chubb and maybe that first 1 to 3 weeks. Um, it just, I don't know, man.
Man, week 1 is gonna be crazy, bro.
It's just that like now we going into the season, it's like we don't really know what to expect at running back. We just got
Bro.
Dante Foreman, who is decent though. He a decent back. We ain't really feeling Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford low key trash. I ain't gonna fake to you,
I ain't gonna
but
say he trash. He's gotta open his eyes, man, see the field.
the one running back we ain't talk about for real. Last time we ain't talk about Naeem Hines. Like I know they brought him here. He's probably gonna be a special teams guy, but he a good dude that really can catch the ball at the backfield. He used to do that a lot for the Colts, and he didn't really get to do that for the Bills because he got hurt. So I think that's something that a lot of people are not talking about, but that's something that we also didn't talk about either. So I think he could be a solid dude that can catch the ball at the backfield. He's probably our best option. They probably I don't know if he'll get the opportunity or not, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I expect it to be like a running back by committee type of thing, like for the first few weeks. But that means that we're gonna have to get the passing that rock a little bit more for real.
Man, we're gonna have to really pass the ball all over the Cowboys. So like, like it ain't gonna be no like that's what I'm saying. Like if the offense gonna be trash, we gonna see it first week 1 because it's gonna be no Nick Chubb. They gonna probably stop the run. They gonna have to pass the ball all over the Cowboys to win that game. So Judy gonna better get some separation. Coop playing his old team. That's gonna be crazy. But I don't know, man. Honestly, I feel like Deontay Foreman and Jerome Ford gonna get the bulk of the carries. I don't think Naheem Hines gonna make the roster. To be real with you.
You don't think he's
I
gonna make the roster?
I don't think he might not make the roster. They got reports out that James Prochet is looking good returning the punts. If James Prochet is returning punts, and then you got Deontay Foreman and Jerome Ford already coming into his, Jerome Ford, their guy. He's drafted here. You already got a younger Jerome Ford and Deontay Foreman. Naeem Hines is mostly, a great returner, a good running back. But I don't think he's a better running back necessarily than Jerome Ford to justify taking away from whatever his potential is. And I don't think he's a better running back than Deontay Foreman. He'd be really competing with, that Pierre Strong role. Honestly, I think he'll probably get a couple of snaps or carries because Nick isn't starting off this year. But once Nick gets back, I would be surprised if he makes this roster. So I want, depending on Nick Chubb's health and who wins the return battle of who's going to be the return man. That's what I say is going to be depending on his roster. Now, of course, his roster spot. Now, of course, if he beats out Prochet, then he'll be on the roster. Just like what's your boy name? Not your boy, Jakeem Grant. You remember him?
Yeah.
Just like how he was as a running back. So I think he'd be all right. But I don't know if James Prochet make the roster over him, then yeah, he's gonna probably end up getting cut because it's not a lot of carries to go around. They already passing the ball more this year. It's not a Kareem Hunt there, so you're gonna really be running a ball just for the sake of running a ball necessarily. This is
But wouldn't it
this
be
gonna be a heavy
running?
pass offense.
I wouldn't say running though, cause he a pass catcher though. That's why I was saying like I don't know any reports on how you doing it in the training camp and shit, but he
Yeah,
is a pass catcher though. Like he's a pure pass catcher. He's probably the best pass catcher on the team
You think
realistically.
he a better pass catcher than Jerome Ford?
Yes, he wrong Ford has the ability to catch pass out the backfield, but
You ain't see the
that's
Jets
not really
game?
his like he can, but like Naeem Hines really do that shit though. Like he really do that though.
I feel like Jerome Ford is neck and neck with Naeem Hines to justify just playing Jerome Ford over Naeem Hines. Though. Like,
I don't know. I don't even know the reports on how Jerome Ford looking. He might be a little suspect. He was missing a few days last week. They said it was for personal reasons
but
though.
you gotta think though, Pip. Like, no, Naeem Hines, he probably is gonna make the roster, but we getting Ken Dorsey, bro. Like, what did the Bills look like last year? But till he left, they was passing the ball all over the field. They wasn't running the ball. They run with Josh Allen. That's exactly what's about to be going on. So like, however people feel about Deshaun or however people feel about Kevin, like we gonna see if the offense changing. It's no Nick Chubb, so they gonna have to be able to, really pass the ball out the backfield. And I think when Nick Chubb gets back, I guess just easing him in and taking his carries away. But it's not going to be a lot of carries to go on this team. You're going to have Nick Chubb
Yeah.
getting about 15, and then Deontay Foreman, Jerome Ford. How much are they going to get combined? Maybe 10. And then Naeem Hines getting him out there in a couple passing sets. It's going to really depend on pass protection, and if he's able to be a better route runner than Jerome Ford, and if he's able to beat out James Prochet. But it's going to be interesting though.
For
Definitely.
sure.
But yeah, what else was I supposed to say? Speaking of many more things, we got just wanted to ask your opinion on it. We got a couple of guys starting, so just training camp starting up now. It's been the first 3 days. They said the report, Deshaun was like 18 and 19, had a little touchdown pass. Looked like the offense is doing a little bit better than the defense, but we got Jerry Judy hasn't yet participated in training camp. Jerry Judy, a guy we just got over, just got his brand new deal, and he's coming over from Denver. Has some injury issues in Denver. What's your thoughts? Are you concerned by this? Do you think he'll have injury issues going into the year, or are you? Yeah, would you want to see Elijah more and more worked in? I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I've seen that.
I mean, I'm genuinely concerned about the dude anyway. You feel me? Like, I'm hurt or not, I'm concerned about his abilities and what he can do on the field, man. You feel me? So like, it does suck that he hurt because he needs those reps. He needs those reps, bro. Like, it's crazy because like I promise you, bro. Like, he's a great route runner, man. But being a great route runner only gonna get you so far in this league. Like you got to be able to catch the ball and make plays, man. So he needs those reps. I'm pretty sure he'll be cool though. But I mean, he has been a guy that's been getting hurt every year. So almost every year, shall I say? So I expect him to get hurt, but I don't feel like he's like just. I don't feel like he's like injury prone, injury prone. Like those dudes that you just know go get hurt. Remember the dude Sterling Shepard for the Giants? He was getting hurt every year. Like you just knew he's gonna get hurt. So I don't think it's like that bad, but it's definitely something to watch for. It's not like he's playing in a different environment. It was cold in Denver too, though. So
Yeah,
um,
we got it was also Jed there too. I forgot, we kind of forgot about Jed injury. I was surprised he's still not playing football. A little concerning a little bit because they've been running James Hudson and
I,
DeJuan Jones out there. James Hudson is so trash.
he
But
tried.
Greg Newsome also had surgery, so now he's also questionable for week one. You feel like he's gonna be able to return back, or what would you like to see from Cam Mitchell?
Hopefully he can return back. Him. Even though Greg Newsom, I'm pissed at him for how the fuck he played last game. That last game, he was getting torched. So, that's something I just haven't forgotten. That really just made me really want to get traded. Like I was salty, man. But
He was
we
gonna
definitely
send
need him.
Greg Newsom to the Cannon Charge. That's he was so mad about that shit. He was, and then he
Yeah,
gonna get on Twitter acting like it wasn't his fault though. Like,
he was though, man. I was trying low key seeing my tweets so he could say something, man. But he definitely played bad though, man. But I feel like it would be good to have him back week one so we just be at full strength. I'm confident that Cam Mitchell could step up though. I think Cam Mitchell is a similar corner to Greg Newsom. We just don't haven't really seen his full potential because he's like the fourth string corner. for real. But I think we'll be fine as long as we got Denzel Ward and Mark Shiesty. I mean, I feel like we'll be fine. But we definitely would love to have our third best corner there in that slot, whether he want to be in that slot or not.
Some people think he's the second best corner.
Nah, nah. Who? He ain't better than he definitely ain't better than Denzel. And he definitely not better than Mark Shiesty.
I'm just telling you, I know some people that
He
think.
ain't trash. He ain't trash though, bro. Like he definitely. I thought once upon a time, I thought he was the best, and I thought he could potentially take over for Denzel Ward. But I have also seen him people get off on him a decent amount. Not too much, but I've seen people get off on him and make me a little suspect. But I mean, it's not a bad take though. But I don't think he better than Emerson though.
Yeah, I definitely feel it.
Like,
I don't think he better than Emerson either. Maybe it's just the style that Emerson play. Kel Mitchell had a 58.1 PFF grade. I don't even know if that necessarily made anything. Though I just wanted to see what he did last year. I remember he had a really good game against the Cardinals.
yeah,
Um, and the potential is there. Now, Greg is obviously a bigger body, 6'1", with Cam Mitchell at 5'11". So, I don't know. Hopefully, Greg get back out there. I mean, worst case scenario, the best thing I want Greg Newsom to be is a good trade asset. So, he need to play. Um, and hopefully Cam Mitchell can show that he's able to replace Greg, because if he is, then like I said, he would have a pretty good asset to get rid of. Now, I do like Greg Newsom though. Greg Newsom's a good guy. I think he has all the potential in the world to be the number one corner. Greg Newsom is a guy that I don't like how they're playing him, and I don't like what they kind of necessarily did. But at the end of the day, like, he
what you
kind
mean
of
you don't
got a
like how they
spot to.
playing him? You don't
He
like him in the slot?
Nah, he was never a slot in college, and he was a boundary corner, and you threw him in the inside to play physical football, guarding tight ends, big body DBs. He's supposed to be out there on the boundary. Now, why is he not on the boundary and he's a first round pick? But he didn't have a bad year. So what consisted of him being put inside because of Martin Emerson? So I feel like they automatically kind of, I don't want to say sabotaged his first couple of seasons, but they kind of like hampered his career. You look at the year where he had just by himself as a rookie, he played fine. He was staying one on one with Jamar Chase. He was cool on the boundary. You throw him in the slot, he's getting lit up by Nico Collins and all these random dudes on the Texans. Like, I don't necessarily think that's the position he's supposed to be playing at in the first place. It might be the best case scenario for him to go to another team, for him to be a number one corner, because he can be a number. Like, if you put Greg Newsom on the Steelers, he's their number one corner, and
For
he'll
sure.
probably get paid as their number one corner. So that's probably the best case scenario for his career as a player. But as far as the Browns go, I do hope he get back healthy. I think he's a better player than Cam Mitchell. I think Greg Newsom is a good, decent starter. It's just the Browns got too many right now. You got Martin
Yeah,
Emerson and Denzel Ward. It's nothing you can do about that. Like, you can't
yeah,
start, bro. So, like, it's nothing you can do about that. Especially when it's Martin Emerson and then you got another Pro Bowler, Denzel Ward. So you got pretty much just hope, Denzel maybe miss a game or two and you just show you the big light. But he behind right now. He gonna have to take Martin's spot, and then Martin not gonna play inside, so it's gonna be hard for him to take his spot. So I don't know.
Emerson Emerson fit the slot. I originally thought Emerson was gonna be a slot dude because he played
Mm-hmm.
slot in college, but I guess he
Yeah.
was just playing so good they threw him on the outside. But I like him as a better outside option because he actually gets interceptions. Like Greg Newsom, he don't get picks, which is fine. I guess as long as you get stops, that's good. But Emerson actually be getting picks and everything, and still doing the same thing
I
that
really want to see them start following guys though. Like, we got all the potential in the world to pick our matchups. Like, if it's a guy like a Nico Collins, Martin Emerson should be following him. Or like depending on the matchup though, like, like obviously like a Jamar Chase, I would not put Jamar Chase on Martin Emerson. I would put him on Denzel Ward. Jamar Chase
yeah,
will burn Martin Emerson, but like Nico Collins is not doing what he did to Greg Newsom to Martin Emerson. I mean, yeah, like that's why I feel like it should be better. They start following guys, but coaching, they gonna keep everything the same. But I don't like that how they go about that. But we also got Dalvin Tomlinson. He had a scope in his knee. Big guy. He's like 300 pounds. So
That nigga paid
I
400 for real.
I'm not saying it like that. Like, but he's a big dude. And he just had a knee surgery, so it's a little, a little alarming. Um, we do got Siaka Akia that pretty much red shirted a year of football. So he wasn't even good enough to get on the field. So a little concerning there. He was our third round pick. Kind of forgot about him. Do you expect anybody in this DT room to step up during this preseason time in a lapse of having Dalvin Thomason out? I'm pretty sure who we had started with, like Shelby Harris, and
I think
Maurice Hurst.
I think it'd be a good opportunity for Michael Hall though. They
Oh,
said he looked
Michael
good.
Hall.
We just
Mm-hmm.
drafted him in the second round. I think this would be a good opportunity for him to really just step in and just show what he can do. Like he definitely got the opportunity to start. He probably, I don't know, like it really just depend, but they could rotate him, but it would be good to see what he can do. Probably him and Shelby Harris, because Shelby Harris still a big dude. Michael Hall kind of smaller. So like it'll be a decent balance. Um that'll be a decent look. The Ike, whatever, what's his name again?
Akia or
Ikea, yeah,
Siaka
him.
Aka.
Yeah, I ain't really seen too much of him though, honestly. So like, I
Man, he
really don't
played
know what
like
to expect
one,
from him.
2 games in the preseason. That's it.
Yeah, I don't really know what they expect from him. I just know he a big dude, and I know he had a decent amount of people said he was a sleeper when we drafted him, man. So
Yeah, he's like 455 pounds.
that's big. Damn, he might have to be out there low key.
Hold on, bro.
Might have to be
I'm
out
about to
there,
look it
but
up, bro. I think he like
450 pounds?
455. Hold on, bro.
That's huge.
Maybe I'm guessing.
450 is crazy, bro. He can't be 450. I don't even think he'd be able to be on the field.
No, all right, I was gassing. He like 350.
Yeah, 350, 450. Yeah, that's pushing. He about to be on 600 pound life soon. 450.
No, he like 350. But no, yeah, he ain't get on the field. I don't know. I was told that he was bad. That's why he ain't played. That's what somebody was told me. But I don't know. I haven't seen him to really know to judge it. But yeah, they got him. I don't know. It's
It
gonna be
could
real
be fair though. I
interesting.
mean, we drafted him last year, right?
Yeah,
Or the year before? Yeah, we drafted him last year, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if he ain't see the field that much, then he probably is butt. He probably is butt though.
I
But
don't know. They got a lot of guys to work in. We still got Jamari Thrash, David Bill. We still got what's bro name?
are you talking about
That
receivers?
Yeah, receiver. That's one I'm thinking of. He got hurt in the offseason
Oh,
last
Mike Woods.
year. Yeah.
I don't know. Mike Woods might be. It might be rash for Mike Woods, man. I ain't gonna lie. It might be rash for him.
Mike
The
Wood said he's
league, the
coming
league move
back.
on fast, man.
He said what?
I said the league they move fast, and he was a late round pick, so like it might be rash for him, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Who's funny got to take David Bill?
I mean, David Bell at least can run routes.
I
I
don't
see it's
know.
crazy because man, I can't even be mad that David Bell not panning out because they try to take the cheap route, man. He old. I mean, not old. He was a late round pick. He's like a Jarvis Landry. He's slow. It's not really a lot of upside to David Bell. Like so. You really think about it, it's not really a lot of upside for him in this league at the moment.
I think it's really just the offense he on. He not given the opportunity to really be force fed like he was in college. Him being a role player versus him being like a focal point on offense, I think it's two different versions of him. If he was like on the Panthers, I think he'll succeed.
Possibly, he's small too though, so like you can't even throw him on the outside for real, especially since he don't got the speed. So like I don't know, man. He might make that last spot though, man. But I know that Thrash dude gonna make the spot just because they
Yeah,
want to have
Jamari
a draft pick
Thrash.
make it.
We still got
Um,
Tillman. They be
I
trying to
think
work Tillman in a lot. They really want Tillman to replace Coop, but he can't.
they do. I ain't like what I seen from him last year. I ain't go fake. I ain't like what I seen from him. I remember I went to
I
that
mean, he
Jets
just didn't know the
game.
playbook, man.
Right, he
Like
was dry. He wasn't really catching that ball for real. I ain't gonna lie.
he looked good in the preseason though.
I mean, DTR looked excellent in the preseason. Feel me? He looked excellent.
Hey, what happened to the one dude, man? You remember our dude from last year that was going off? That one
Um,
dude, he was having like 100-yard games every preseason, and we just never heard from him again. We was sorry he got cut, and he
oh,
was, and then, huh?
you not talking about the dude that finessed the workout, did you? He returned that punt. You ain't talking about him. I
The
don't think you
dude
talking
that
about him.
came from like the dude that came from the 3D league, not the 3D league, but the little minor little league shit, and he was a receiver. He had like 100 yards like every preseason game, and bro, it was last year. Everybody was talking about is he gonna make the roster, and they cut him. But he, but he made the practice squad. But he had like 100 yards every preseason. If I could pull up a preseason game, I could
Oh,
just
I know you talking about.
it's gonna be the first highlight that popped up.
It was Sammy Watkins' little brother. I think
Uh, was it
it,
Sammy Walker's little
it was
brother?
somebody's little brother.
Bruh, what? It was. Hold on. So who did we play? Who did we play in the preseason last year? The
I
Jets.
think it was Sammy Watkins' little brother though, bro.
Did we play them? Dang, I can't think of who we played
I
in the
think it was
preseason.
Sammy Watkins' little brother.
Probably was. We gonna think of it right after the video ends. But getting over to the thick of things, just wanted to go into this cast video. We had to touch on the cast today. So it's the report that came out. We went ahead and went over and looked into it. Allegedly, reportedly, the Cleveland Cavaliers declined a trade on draft day that would have sent Darius Garland to the San Antonio Spurs for the pick 4, which was Stephon Castle, and the pick 8, which turned out to be Rob Dillingham, in exchange for Darius Garland. Uh, thoughts on that? How do you feel about that? And just general thoughts on the Cavs and the moves they've made this offseason or their lack thereof.
So I feel like it sounded like a sweet deal. You get an eighth pick. You said it was the eighth and sixth pick, right?
Yeah, no, the fourth and the eighth.
The fourth and the eighth. Oh no,
The
yeah, that was.
fourth.
I can see why they possibly turned it down. Um, but then again, that's
Stephon
a lot of
Castle looked
draft
kind of
capital
good.
though. That's a lot of draft capital. I feel like I don't know because you look if even if the Cavs traded Garland, you still got Donovan Mitchell, you still got Evan Mobley, and then you still got Jared Allen as your core big guy. So like by default, you still gonna be a threat in the East to some degree. Maybe not the biggest threat, but you gonna be a threat to make the playoffs and do a little something, something. So I feel like we use those picks wisely, and we just hit on a pick, then boom, we can really just still turn up for real. I mean, could have got Rob Dillingham, um, or the Castle dude, or probably somebody else in the draft because fourth is kind of a high pick. I don't know. Maybe the Cavs was looking at it as like, yeah, we not trying to really take that route of developing guys. We trying to really just win now. But man, Garland, man, I don't think Garland really, I think Garland was worth shipping off for that. I probably would have did it. I probably would have did it though. Like it ain't like this is Jared Allen or nothing. I would have really banged off Garland, and then I would have took the time it took
Whoa.
to.
What you mean by that,
Oh yeah, chill. But I would have got
bro?
him
Like
gone
what?
though, man. I think I probably would have let him go. Got him gone. I just feel like the reason why they didn't. The only reason why they couldn't have did it is because they probably don't feel like developing no rookies when they trying to compete. But realistically, I look at the roster. You're not about to really compete for no championship in the East with this roster. So it just makes everything look dumb because it didn't like y'all turned down a deal to potentially get two younger guys at a cheaper price who probably got more upside than Garland potentially. You feel me? And you ain't made no moves. You ain't signed a soul. You ain't signed a soul. You ain't traded for anybody that's on the trade market. I think our last hope is Brandon Ingram. And it's crazy. I just heard rumors that Utah is a sleeper for Brandon Ingram, which is fried. But you
Money
know,
Utah want to get around.
that's what I'm saying, man. So seeing them not really make moves and they turn down this offer for DG, it's like, what are y'all really doing? Like what are y'all really planning on doing? It's not like y'all about to promote anybody out that can charge or nothing. Like we really have nothing to look forward to with this roster. Like they really trying to run it back. It sounds like they're just banking on development of Evan Mobley and Garland, and it looks like they're banking on the coach to really uplift this team. Like maybe they feel like JB Bickerstaff was holding this team back that much, but you also got to look at this Isaac Okoro, our best defender probably outside of like our bigs, is still on the free agency mark. He's a restricted free agent, so that's something to talk about too. Like I don't know, the Cavs they got weird stuff going on, and I don't even at this point, unless they trading for like Brandon Ingram or something, I don't know what they think they about to do, and I don't even know how Don even resigned because like. I would have told them like y'all got to go get Brandon Ingram or something like. Cause they obviously giving them Bron treatment right now. Yeah, go get him. Go trade for him, and then we could talk about a contract extension. That's what I would have did, me personally, man. But I don't
I
know.
definitely would have gave them the Bron treatment. I feel you.
I don't know, man. What you think?
I feel like it's all kind of depend uh, on the direction you want to go as a franchise. Like, hey, all right, you want to decline that trade. The only reason you would decline that trade is because you want to say, hey, we want to win right now. Um, and if that's the purpose, what have you done to show that?
Right.
Is Darius Garland that much better than Rob Dillingham right now today to justify it meaning you were in a less win now mode? I don't necessarily know. Uh, I would have rather took Rob. I don't know. I'm a Rob Dillingham fan.
I am too.
I would have took him top five. You tell me Rob Dillingham for Darius. I think Rob Dillingham might end up being a better player than Darius Garland is. So, and I think Rob Dillingham could definitely be a better player than what Darius Garland floor is. So, like what
Yes.
Darius Garland provided last year, Rob Dillingham could probably provide that his rookie year. So, I think
Yeah.
that, and then that's just half of the trade. That's not even Stephon Castle's another good prospect as well. So I would have did it. I would have, like you said, I would have probably moved off of 4, kept 8, and I would have just got a 5. I mean, not a 5, a 3 with a pick 4, or you could have took pick 4 and Jared Allen, and you could have went and got like a. I mean, it's probably unrealistic, but like a Paul George, like a Brandon Ingram. That's a deal that you make right there to be able to do that. You know, a high end pick plus a good guy, you could go and get a young star. Um, so yeah, I would have did that. I don't understand why not. They also need to build up their bench. Isaac Okoro needs to be resigned. He's actually one of the decent players on this team. Um, yeah, it's nobody to bring up from the Cannon Charge besides Evan Mobley. I mean, not Evan Mobley, Imani Bates. So we got a new addition of Jalen Tyson and running it back. That's it.
Yeah.
Like
That's
what am
not
I supposed
okay.
to do?
That's
What
not.
am I supposed to do with that? Like how is that telling your fans that you're serious about winning the
Yeah.
championship? How? Like I don't.
Yeah. Like
Is that serious?
after these past 2 years, bruh, seeing how they went out, I don't see how they haven't made any moves. Like over the past 2 years combined, all they did was add Max Struess, Nee Yang, and what's the dude that didn't play, Ty Jerome, and then
Yeah.
I think they added that backup center that never seen the floor. We don't even have a backup big, bro. Like the Cavs, I don't know, they on some weird stuff, bro. They on some weird stuff, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know, man. I don't really see how the coach can. They saying that the coach is gonna take a Brook Lopez and turn it into a shooter. Well, Jared Allen's not gonna turn into no damn Brook Lopez. So if it's Evan Mobley getting turned into a Brook Lopez, even if you take Evan Mobley off this team and replace him with Brook Lopez right now today, you still got the same spacing issues with having 2 7-footers with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley being there. It's the same exact thing. So until they could reconstruct or figure out what they're gonna do to develop Evan more or to develop Jared Allen more or to feature one of their weaknesses more, I mean, one of their strengths more, But it's definitely playing to their weakness. They have 2 7-footers right there. They're competing for rebounds. They're competing for tip ins. It just needs to be one consistent big that's doing all the roaming and the rolling, so it's easier. So I don't know. I think that's really the biggest thing they're gonna have to figure out. Maybe they move off from Jared Allen, but until they make a deal, I'm just gonna pretty much say they just wanna be the fifth seed and be content with it. You
Yeah, for
know,
sure.
it seems like they just want to be content with being the sixth seed. Like, yeah, man, we got our ring with Brian, man. We got our ring
Yeah,
with Brian. Now
apparently.
we just a good team now. Yeah, we just go to the playoffs now, y'all. We just trying to make the playoffs, baby. We trying to develop these young guys and make the playoffs. So when y'all serious about winning basketball games, y'all let me know, man.
No, for real.
Like they not serious. They just want to win games and make the playoffs, get bounced out in the first round. Like, I hope we don't play New York in the first round. That's gonna be embarrassing.
No, New York got a squad though. I ain't gonna
That's
lie.
gonna be
I'm concerned about
embarrassing.
them.
I
And
hope we don't.
Tiz run them player. He run his players 40 minutes minimum. So
Hope we don't play New York. They gonna run through us.
yeah. But the last thing I want to talk about though, even though we just came to Cavs, I just want to briefly touch on Amari Cooper's contract to close the video up. Basically, he was holding out all off season for real, and they ended up pretty much coming to an agreement where they was gonna fully guarantee his contract, which was gonna give him the 20 M's fully guaranteed this year. They went ahead and fronted him 10 mil up front as a sign-on bonus, and they added in $5 million in incentives. So it's not a contract extension, but you know, we were able to retain him for the year, and then he's set to be a free agent next year. So how do you feel about the contract whole situation? How do you feel about that?
I ain't really talked to you about it at all, so you're gonna probably be a little. I don't know. Maybe I did, but I feel like it's kind of interesting that he's gonna be a free agent going into next season. He said he wants to retire as a Brown. But you got to also remember what's going on in Cincinnati right now with T. Higgins. They got T. Higgins, who's going to be an unrestricted free agent next year, and he's going to probably be his last year in Cincinnati this year. So the Browns have been linked to T. Higgins. They are now open up their books to be able to sign T. Higgins to a max deal going into the next season. So I think that's something to be very looking forward to. I think 25 mil. I said it probably like 8 times in the video before he signed. I think about 25 mil is a good deal. I would have rathered him like sign a 2 or 3 year deal just to have the consistency to know we got a consistent wide receiver one always there. But if the goal is to go and get a T Higgins because he's younger, taller, and he put him in a situation where he's the number one, and take him out of Cincinnati where he's been a number two. I would love for them to go and do that. Then you have a wide receiver core of like, hey, Amari had a good last year. Now we have T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, and Elijah Moore, all under the age of 28, already in here signed for long term deals. Um, and I think if you're not able to get a big guy, a big name wide receiver, then you could just re-sign Coop to another deal. It's almost kind of similar to how we kind of go about stuff with Kareem Hunt. I think it'd be that same scenario. I don't think Coop would be a guy, even if he does have 1,300 yards. I don't think Coop would be a guy that's signed like first day of camp. I think they'll re-sign Coop, before it even gets close to him going to free agency, or not. Then he'll be in free agency for a while, and then end up just signing back to the Browns. I think that's how it turned out. But yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I agree though. I feel like because he did say he want to retire as a Brown. I mean, everybody say the same shit. All these players say they want to retire here and there. So, but I feel like he'll come back next year, maybe at a cheaper price, depending on how he play this year and depending on how good we are this year. But I think it was a great deal because it just gives us the option to really just see how Elijah Moore and Jerry Judy come around and let's just see what we really want to do next year instead of really being forced and doing something that we don't want to do. And also, we don't have to worry about being tied down to an old head receiver when he starts to regress because he is 30. He gonna
Hey,
turn 31 next
don't
year
say
before
that, y'all.
OTAs.
Y'all love Jarvis Landry. Don't say that.
Ain't no Jarvis was cool though, man. Let's be 100 though, man. Um, but yeah, like Yeah, he had a lot of leverage though, because there's no signs of him slowing down, but he will be slowing down pretty soon, man. So it's just good that we're gonna be paying him a lot of money potentially when he slow down, because he could slow down this year. You never know, you know. So I think it was a great deal. We didn't it really didn't really cost us nothing. Like we just go give him 5 million in incentives and just give him what he already was scheduled to make for real. So I don't see anything bad about it, honestly, man. I think it was definitely a great deal for sure. So I think that was the best option for us
Yeah, definitely.
for sure. All right, man. That's all we got today for today's episode, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Go ahead and shoot us a subscribe. And we definitely
Hit the
got
damn like button, y'all, man. We gonna be back probably in like a week. We gonna drop some smaller videos throughout the week. We're gonna be starting also a social media page and put on all our Instagrams, Twitter, where y'all can find us at any time. If you guys ever got any questions, always comment down below. And oh yeah, I see somebody y'all said like, hey, this video aged poorly because we was talking about Amari Cooper getting signed. If you watched the video, we responded and said that he was gonna get 25 mil. So if anything, we was right. So that's all I'm gonna
right,
say.
right, right,
But
right.
but appreciate y'all, man. You guys have a blessed one, man. We out.